But what's your biggest prediction for anime and manga? Who wants to start?
I mean, I'll start because I think when you're looking at the spring slate for next year, Fire Force is really the one that stands out according to my anime list. Fire Force to me, and I've talked about it religiously. Fire Force is the most underrated shonen out there, where it gives you great fights, pretty good backstory, great lore, um, and I think it's just been slept on. Obviously, it's a prequel to Soul Eater, but when you look at it, you can't tell me why you don't like Fire Force other than you just don't watch it. I've never met somebody who's just doesn't like the story. And I think that tradition will be kind of upheld. But now that Fire Force really has a chance to shine, even though it's been waiting almost 5 years, I believe, to get season 3. I think now that it's kind of standing by itself as like the one big showing of the season, unless there's something I missed, people will finally get to appreciate Fire Force for what it is. It finally gets its chance in the sun. It's not competing with like Solo Leveling or something like that. So my thing is Fire Force might be the top. No, fuck it. I'm willing to say it. Fire Force might be the top showing of the season. It has great animation. It has the backing. It always does great numbers. Just that when we talk about great shonens that Shonen Jump has made, nobody ever talks about Fire Force, and I'm tired of that. And in terms of manga, I'm willing to say, look, I like what Bug Eagle's done, even though every goddamn chapter, Riddell, I feel like I'm gonna call you and be like, yo, what the fuck is this? But I think Frieren is on a low key, really good run right now with what they did in the last arc, which I was talking about a few months ago, where they used a trope that's really used very badly in manga. In terms of right now, what they're doing right now, in terms of the main conflict in this arc, and I don't want to spoil it. Frieren will continue his generational run into being one of the best manga of all time. Those are my two hot takes.
All right.
So,
Who wants to go next?
so for me, I'll just make it pretty quick. This year we had a seinen anime called Uzumaki. We saw a giant fumble for one of, I would say, the best seinen stories out there. I think for 2025, Netflix got the rights, and it's going to do The Summer Hikaru Died. I think
Fantastic series, Santo.
I
Fantastic.
think you are going to see a seinen done right by Netflix. Netflix has been knocking it out of the park, something like Blue Box. So stay tuned. I think the seinen is actually going to have a great representation with The Summer Hikaru Died.
Shout out to Satan's everywhere. They don't really get a lot of love because they're not the ones that found the sweet spot in anime. It's always tough for them to kind of break out.
Yeah, Sunins get a bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Miles, he muted.
I am muted. Mine is a sky's blue kind of thing. But I think this is going to be the year that One Piece transcends like manga conversation talks outside of Dragon Ball Z. I think where it's at on the all-time highest girl selling list, I think it's going to jump about 4 spots this year. And the reason why I think that is, I think where Elbaf is going to be by the end of this year. I think that level of content is going to be insane. There's a lot of things happening in the outside world outside of Elbaf as well. And we've seen Oda kind of been very focused on highlighting his entire world. Other than that, we're getting the end of Egghead getting animated this year. That means Joy Boy being animated on the big screen. That's going to be monumental. All the Gorosei on TVs and televisions across America, that's going to be a big deal. We get the remake that's going to bridge the gap between the old fans and the new fans with good animation and be a groundwork for people who want to get into One Piece for the first time. And then we also get the season 2 of the live action. So we're going to get the season 2 of the live action, and then people are going to be able to watch the beginning of One Piece as an anime, but with improved modern animation. Right now, I'm looking at One Piece. It's number 19 on the all-time list, but it's only a couple hundred million behind Cars, Toy Story, and things that I like. I think it's going to jump up to be behind Barbie at number 15. That will be. And I think this is going to be a monumental year for One Piece. I'm not gonna lie.
Quick question, real quick, Miles and all the One Piece people in here. How important do you believe this remake is to the overall property or series that is One Piece?
What I think is very interesting about it is I think it's the timing. Whereas I feel like a lot of the other like members of the big three had their time a lot early. I feel like One Piece is benefiting from not only getting popular right now, but getting popular as anime as a whole has become popular. So it's gonna be able to get a lot of that big boom, that upsurge of new people coming in, and going straight to the show. I just think the people behind One Piece have been very strategic in when they've decided to strike, so to say. I think they released the live action at a perfect time. I think they decided to remake at a perfect time. I just think they've been very tactical in when they've decided to make moves. No, I think this remake is going to do a lot for people. People who are afraid to watch it because the pacing was bad. All of that's getting redone. The animation might have off-put them. That's going to be redone. There's going to literally be no excuse. Like, you're going to be able to properly entertain and enjoy One Piece.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's not. It has absolutely no effect on like One Piece in general. Like it's not a make or break it for One Piece by any means, but it will be a potential. Like it's only a good thing, and it will be a potential catalyst for One Piece to hit another level, especially towards the. It has a good casual fan base, but there's still a level, especially in this newer generation, that truly doesn't appreciate One Piece. Like the amount of people that complain One Piece is too long. Those are the people that they're trying to capture. It's like, well, here's a remake. Watch this remake. It's not going to be too long. Just watch it. Just see what you think, right? So that's what they're trying to do. What's up, Ty? You're muted.
You're good.
I'm not meaning a lot. All right. My prediction is more so like a whole prayer. It might not happen, but I'm not even begging. I pray this happens. I want either the God Valley backstory or the Void Century backstory this year, 2025. I need it. Would have been holding out these secrets. He gives us secrets and holds out more secrets. Master storyteller for that. But I need these two. One of the two, because I want to see those backstories so badly. Like that, like the One Piece is a crazy mystery, probably the best mystery in fiction. But those two things specifically, I need it, bro.
If we get God Valley, I might cry. I'm not gonna lie.
I need it.
That's crazy.
2025, we getting one of those backstories, man.
I'm not mad at it. I would really appreciate those. Well, unless you're ready, Lonnie.
You can go if you want.
All right, I'll throw mine out there. For me, in terms of anime or in terms of manga, I was thinking like, what do I want to see in 2025? Like all those One Piece stuff, of course. I mean, there's a lot of great things in One Piece to see. So I'm just waiting. But I try to think of something more unconventional. Like it could or could not happen, but agendas are strong. I need that Nagi redemption arc. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I need. I need that Nagi redemption arc.
Delusion.
You ain't getting it.
Delusion.
Hey,
I think it's gonna happen.
Bro needs the Nagi redemption arc harder than Lonnie needs the Hell arc from Bleach, bro.
Yeah, he just wanted us to say delusion. That's delusion.
Hey.
I think it's actually gonna happen. I think Nagi's gonna get a bounce back
next year.
Yeah.
Quick question, real quick. Why should it matter that he gets a bounce back? Why does it matter?
Nagi.
Because
what are you talking about?
What do you got else? I
mean, the same way Renner's getting thrown out the story, he's not going to be the rival anymore. Why does Nagi matter? Why bring him back? Same logic.
That's a question I'm asking.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
At this point, Nagi doesn't even matter.
On his downfall for it not to matter.
Nagi actually doesn't matter, Santo. It's
not like Ren.
It's not like Ren.
Riddell, quick question. Nagi gets his redemption arc.
Riddell, we're here. I'm here with
Riddell, Lonnie. Let me ask you this question. Riddell, Lonnie, let me ask you this question. Nagi gets his redemption arc. How does that affect the story at all?
He elevates the game again. He takes it to new heights. That's how.
Yawn. Straight yawn.
So who is he going to beat to elevate him?
When it
Who
happens,
would he win
we're gonna look
against?
like the bad guys somehow. Somehow we're gonna look like the bad guys when it happens.
Oh, now
We're gonna be
I wanted it
cooking y'all
initially.
when it happens.
I wanted it initially, but because of all the disrespect,
The disrespect.
now I need it. I
Disrespect to
need
who?
Nagi's
Nagi.
Nagi.
bro. I need.
I don't know. I don't think I was
Wait,
disrespectful. I was just asking a
what
question.
do you say about
Y'all be
Nagi?
disrespectful with Nagi. Y'all
We're
be-
done
No,
with
my thing
Nagi.
is like Ty. I'm just saying whether if Nagi gets his redemption arc, does that really matter in the story?
Yeah, I mean, so this is what I've always said.
Yes.
I think that the niggas that are on Team Z, that were on Team Z, and then Nagi, Rayo, Borrow, those would be the main people, bro. I'm like,
I mean, Rayo could get a power up. I'm not moved.
no,
by it.
what I'm saying is like those people will be always be narratively relevant in my opinion. The Team Z niggas like Gagamaru, Raichi, even Igaguri, Kunagami,
Bakugo.
Isagi, Chigiri, Bachira, those people will always be important, I think. And then Rayo, Nagi, and Borrow outside of Team Z. I think those collection of characters will be relevant throughout the story. To me, at least, that's what I think. So that includes Nagi. So I think he's gonna make a comeback and be.
I feel like
do
y'all
something.
hate on Nagi.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking it a step further. I need Nagi to realize the potential that you know how Gohan done right. You know what I'm saying? Like that hidden potential that Nagi has is so powerful once it's fully unlocked, and he's finally locked in, getting that Black Mamba mentality. Once that goes and activates within Nagi, we're talking about all these different pros being Asagi's rival. We're talking about these guys being the
Nagi?
Borrow is his
Nagi.
rival.
If
Nagi
you
is
told
everything.
Nagi to get a personality, he wouldn't even get it.
We talk about
like
he's
Borrow
never be a
is
Black
not his
Mamba.
rival.
the barrier for Nagi. I mean, being the barrier for Asagi. No, come to
Well,
Can I ask? Wait, before you go, Ty,
Nagi,
I just want to ask.
future best striker in football.
I actually have a.
So,
I actually have a
Lonnie, just quick question. So that barrier for Isagi to be the number one, if Bachira comes out, are we still thinking about Nagi?
I am for sure.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done.
Only because his talent. So here's my thing, right? Well, Riddell, do you think that Nagi? I respect his talent. I think narratively, he's going to be one of the best players by the end of the story. Sure, like I don't disagree with that. But you think he'd be a bigger rival? You think he's right now? He's been set to be a bigger rival so far than Borrow.
No, in terms of rival,
No.
in terms of just like character to character rivalry, no. I'm talking about in terms of barrier because of him as the best player. Period.
So but don't you think that in this story, if Borrow's the bigger rival, he'll be the better player?
No, I think
Why not?
I think that's going to be a very good like character arc. You know, Boro, Asagi kind of going through the same trajectory, rising and kind of one up each other. Kind of a different way than like Asagi and Rin, and that'll be a good character arc. But the final phase is beating the best of the best, and that best of the best is not.
And so you do think that Nagi be the final hurdle and not Borrow?
Oh, we're locked.
So okay, I'm just asking because I don't think it's coincidence.
Riddell, you sure?
That's
remember this episode.
So
if I'm being objective, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say super quick line. So
I'm here, bro.
Isagi, Borrow, he says Borrow is the one person he doesn't want to lose to. Their growth has been linear as far as their values in the New Eagles League. They're the only two people that have been able to galvanize their team in that way. Borrow and Isagi. No one else has been able to do that. I don't think it's unintentional that he's made them the strongest parallel, while also making Isagi have the greatest animosity towards the strongest parallel.
Ty, question: Is it
So
They're gonna have a good character arc between each other. I agree.
Ty? Could you argue that, but you could add Bachira in that list as well, but he just didn't have the talent around him to succeed?
I don't think he had the leadership that Borrow and Isagi. I don't think so. Like from just pure talent and skill, sure, but I think the way that Borrow galvanized Ubers, you see that similarity with what Isagi's done in the past. Like I don't think it's a coincidence that these two have been the two people that have been able to do that, along with their growth being linear as far as values in the Neos Eagles League, along with all their constant battles before the story, before this arc, along with them having the most animosity towards each other while also having some weird friendship. I just don't think all those things put together is a coincidence to me.
So I'm not at the deep end. Like I'm with Riddell, but I'm not at the deep end.
Riddell said,
yeah, I don't think
that is the final hurdle.
I will say this though. I do think
I'm throwing out agendas there, but my prediction is
I was gonna say my agenda for Nagi. I was gonna say that I don't think he's the last guy. But like if they do it, because with sports anime, a lot of times they do things tournament style. I think if it's like to get to the finals or something like that, he might not be the final boss, but he might be the second. He might be the person that his rival, like he might be the person Baru has to go through.
I agree.
He might be the person that Rin might have to go through, or Bachira, because I think those three are like the rivals for Isagi. Rin, not Rin, Baru, Bachira, and Rin. Those are my three. So I think one of them is gonna have to get through Nagi for Isagi or something.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to have it where it's the rival. I think that can be a very important character. Right? Like similar Kuroko no Basket, Akashi wasn't Kuroko's biggest rival. The biggest rival that they're setting up the entire time is Almine. So like that was the big story character arc, but the final one was the biggest hurdle, the best for basketball's sake, not the best individual player, but the best team basketball player was Akashi. And Kuroko and Kagami had to get through Akashi to win it all. Nagi about to be.
And she's saying Nagi's the final hurdle.
You know,
so Nagi's gonna have a stacked ass super team, and that's how he's gonna be the final hurdle.
I like what you did.
I
So they're going to be activated by Nagi's tremendous.
But it's going to be a super team, though.
Riddell, I get it. Riddell, I get he don't show emotions, but you can't sit there and tell me if we're imagining like the battle for the World Cup. You rather from a entertainment standpoint, interaction, you want Baro on the other side, not Nagi. You would rather see Baro and Isagi go at it, and the way their characters bounce off each other more than Isagi and Nagi. I think we all agree with that. Do we? Right?
I think Isagi and Nagi are more complementary.
So Ty, I agree with you.
Going at each other,
but the Kuroko no Basketball example was
on the same side.
No. I feel you. I'm asking, and I'm saying, what would you rather see?
I would rather Baro. Oh yeah.
Well, because I feel like Nagi suits better, like being a teammate of Isagi rather than being a rival of Isagi in terms of like their personality. Yeah. I feel like
you would literally have to rework Nagi's entire character.
Nagi on the same team as Isagi?
I'm willing to say it.
Nagi need the Nagi redemption arc. I don't need this passive Nagi who is talented and sometimes he likes to.
Do you feel he's a better ally or a rival to Isagi?
I think he will be an amazing individual character if he locks in. And the way they set up Nagi is obviously the lazy character doesn't lock in. And what they did recently is establish that because he doesn't do that, he is fumbling. That's what we see. So the proper trajectory for Nagi's character is for him to realize who he wants to be and to realize that he can be the best player out of every single player at Blue Lock right now.
I agree, he can, but I'm saying, do you feel like in the story he's better written as an ally to Isagi or as a rival?
I think the most interesting aspect of Nagi will be when he becomes a individual and a rival of everybody.
Okay.
I see him more as a, like, for lack of better terms, a tool that Isagi uses to beat Baro when it comes down to it than anything else.
But not
if that's all he is, I'm tossing out.
No. Just because he's a tool doesn't mean he's not going to be a great character.
Nope.
But he's a puzzle piece that Nagi uses to beat Baro at the end.
I'm tossing him, bro.
Which means you're also getting real. Also, like, as much as I look when Nagi, like you said, when Nagi locks in, he's amazing. The problem is he hasn't found out why he hasn't found his love for the game yet. He hasn't found out why he needs to put in the work every day. That's why when Baro looked at him and got mad at him, like, what do you call it? The freaking dude that lost to that beat Kunigami, like the monk guy, he got it. Nagi doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's why I need that redemption arc. That's why I need that redemption arc, bro.
But also something else could work is that if, let's say for today's conversation, Baro is on Isagi's team and they're going against Nagi. The reason why that could work is because we've seen how the rival dynamic as a teammate still is like pretty like Kaiser Isagi So I mean, that could also be a thing. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That is a good point.
Like your teammate could be your biggest rival.
Also, last thing for my anime prediction for 2025, I was thinking about saying like Witch Watch is a manga. I read quite a bit about it. It's a big Shonen Jump manga. It's coming out with the anime. I was thinking maybe that's going to be the next Spy Family because it's not a serious type thing, but there's interesting elements that people can grasp onto. But instead, what I want to do is I want to jump on the train, and maybe Lonnie, this is yours, but I think we've been in the kind of same kind of locked in for this, especially since you started reading it. Omniscient Reader is going to come out, and it's going to be better than Solo Leveling.
Oh, absolutely. It already is now.
Yeah, it's not even close.
It's not even close.
No, I need the world to recognize that. That's what I'm saying.
Solo Leveling just has, in my opinion, and I'm willing to say this, Solo Leveling just has better fights. In terms of story, Omniscient's better. It's not even close.
But I go back to what I was saying. Solo Leveling is doing what it does very, very well. It's not something that's deep. It's just pretty to look at, great fights, story is very surface level, and it just sticks with what it does great, and it works.
Mm-hmm. Solo Leveling understands what it is, and they don't try to make itself anything different. And I think a lot of stories, like for instance, Kaiju number 8 suffers from that. I think adding the backstory of the feudal lords and all that stuff really hurts the story. If they stuck to being what it was, I think they would have been fine. Because now we're having more questions than answers as the story presumably gets toward its end.
No, I'm with you. Lonnie, you're last.
Saving the best for last. Well, you said part of my anime agenda. Mine is that 2025 is going to be the year of, outside of One Piece, it's going to be the year of manhwa in terms of animes, because the big hitters are all coming out at the same time. Tower Gods, the end of the second season is going to be cooking. Omniscient Reader is getting made by Uftobo, who makes Demon Slayer and Fate, so we know that the animation alone is going to carry it. And I'm sorry, Omniscient Reader is a way better story than Demon Slayer. Like, I'm sorry, they're not in the same tier. So if the same people are animating that, it's going to be feeding families.
People think Demon Slayer belongs in conversations that it does not belong in. It's just not. It's just a great adaptation.
It's a great, to me, a B story with A plus animation. But with Omniscient Reader, you're gonna get at minimum an A- story with A+ animation. So, like, some people, you can argue that Omniscient Reader might be the best isekai or one of the best isekais. Because technically, if you think about it, technically it's an isekai.
It's a weird kind of isekai, but yeah, it is.
It's technically
a very unique type of isekai.
But after that, what I consider my favorite isekai, to me, it's in the top 3. The beginning after the end, that anime comes out, and that's gonna be gas. Solo Leveling.
Lonnie, I think you might need to hold off the brakes on your beginning.
I'm not worried about the studio because the story will carry. The story itself will carry.
Lonnie,
I'm not worried about the studio.
Lonnie, I've done some research, man. I might need to put this
research too. Like I said, the story of the beginning after end will carry. The story will carry.
Miles, and the only reason I'm saying that is because
the trailer looks fine. The trailer looked fine.
The director is mid to bad. The studio is mid to bad. Unless they're about to literally change life and change their whole tendency for beginning after the end, it's gonna be mid to bad. And I don't want that for you, Lonnie. I really don't.
I don't know. Well, like I said,
I mean, if they decide the tone shift, and also if this is a project that they put all their resources, like if this is going to put us on the map, I could see it being like very different from their other projects. Because if you see the titles of the other anime, those are like basic isekai, like garbage.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But I'd rather them take the Mushoku Tensei approach where a studio was created for beginning after the end, than because people are gonna see how mid to bad Lonnie, I agree with you on the story. I absolutely agree.
Name me a story that the studio did that actually had good source material.
I think what Studio Bind has done with Mushoku Tensei is magnificent.
No, I'm saying the studio that's making the beginning after end. Name me an anime that they did that had good source material.
None.
But like, if they're giving you
the story will carry.
but if they're giving you 6 and I can't, at least for me, I've never seen them have an anime that's been rated over a 7. Of all the different things that they've done, has
That's
been
why I
rated
said,
over a 7.
is there an anime that has
I
good source material that's worth that though?
I'm willing to look. I'm fine. I'll do it. I think they're going to hurt the property beginning after the end more than they help it.
Well, until then, I don't know, but I'm not done with my take. So, beginning at the end is coming out.
apologize.
Beginning of the end is coming out. Also, The Boxer, one of my favorite sports stories, is coming out too in late 2025, and I think that's gonna because Hajime no Ippo. I don't know when was the last time the episodes dropped, but The Boxer, it has that dark theme that we like. It's like the main people are all morally gray, and it's a great story. Like it's written great. The fights are going to be great, and I think that's going to carry in late 2025 as well. So we're gonna have Tower God, the Boxer, Omniscient Reader. Oh, and Lord of Mysteries is also a manhwa, and they're talking about rebooting the manhwa for this. And we saw how that animation looked crazy as well. So we have like a good 6 and maybe 7 or 8 bangers. So I think there's some other manhwa coming out as well that are being animated in 2025. So anime by itself, anime/manga by itself is in trouble because we're gonna be talking about these a lot. And the Soul Leveling movie,
Don't watch it. Just wait for the second season.
no. I'm just saying the movie was kind of gas. I'm not gonna lie.
But they just recapped season 1. Don't watch it. It's the same thing as Demon Slayer.
That's not even what I'm talking about. Because it's the same thing with the Demon Slayer movies. It was
Don't watch those either.
The beginning was the end of season 1, but the second half,
I might watch some of these movies.
I agree. Those movies are great, but those are for casuals who didn't watch the anime. If you watch the anime, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
the
probably
Demon
watch
Slayer
the
movie's good. Yes,
the
so watch it. Like I don't know what to tell you, and I don't know if the same level of animation because the Demon Slayer movies had a little bit higher quality animation than the episodes that were copying the same material. So if you want the best version of something, watch this movie. The movie was
for them to show up on Crunchyroll. Wait for them to show up on Crunchyroll.
Random to even see it. So his opinion is limited right now. He didn't see it. I'm telling you, it was gas. Some of the best moments of those fights, they made even more hype. Like the whole theater was like going off towards the end when he was fighting that like knight that elf, and they made it so cold. They made it so cold. And they gave him one of the best walkaways I've probably seen all year. He was so nice. It's just aura. The story is mid, but the aura that the movie gave those scenes peak. I was so happy watching it.
Is that all your predictions?
Oh, and Trojan X is going to take over 2025.
All I'm going to say is,
the stage is set. We're going to see.
All I'm gonna say is when people finally understand why I say Demon Slayer is gonna be the best, once again, the best anime adaptation of all time, and I'm gonna take that to the fucking bank. Take that straight to the bank, because for some reason people don't understand what I mean by best, even though us 6 do. I can't wait for that because them movies will feed families. Them Demon Slayer movies will feed families. I'm gonna look at every one of them in the face and say, "You're welcome."